There's a strange misconception about introverts. They're shy, that they're socially awkward, that they're quiet because they don't have much going on upstairs. In reality, introverts are quiet because there's too much going on upstairs. Today, I want to talk about why introverts don't just see the world differently, they often see it more accurately. Not louder, not faster, but clearer. Extroverts process the world by talking, introverts process the world by watching. An introvert will walk into a room and immediately start scanning who's pretending, who's uncomfortable, who's talking too much because they're insecure, who's quiet but paying attention. They're not zoned out, they're collecting data. By the time an introvert speaks, they've already watched the room for 5 minutes longer than everyone else. And that gives them an edge most people don't even realize exists. Here's something uncomfortable most people don't like to admit. The world rewards noise, not accuracy. People who talk confidently are assumed to be correct. People who talk loudly are assumed to be important. People who talk constantly are assumed to know what they are doing. Introverts don't buy into that illusion. They're comfortable with silence, and silence is where pattern becomes visible. When you stop filling the air with words, you start noticing tone, timing, contradictions, micro reactions. An introvert can tell something's off long before it explodes, not because they're psychic, but because they're paying attention. Introverts don't react instantly, and that alone puts them ahead. Most people experience something and immediately respond. Anger, reaction, praise, ego, criticism, defensiveness. Introverts pause. They sit with the emotion, they analyze it, they ask, why do I feel this way? Is this actually true? That pause filters out a lot of nonsense. It prevents impulsive judgments. It allows reality to settle before conclusions are drawn. Accuracy requires patience, and introverts naturally have more of it. Introverts don't skim life, they dive. They don't want 50 shallow interactions, they want 3 real ones. They don't want trending opinions, they want true ones. The depth of first approach changes how they see people. Introverts notice inconsistencies in behavior. They remember what someone said 6 months ago and compare it to what they are saying now. That's how you spot hypocrisy, that's how you spot manipulation, that's how you spot sincerity. Accuracy lives in details, and introverts live in details. One of the biggest reasons introverts see more clearly, they're less influenced by crowds. When everyone around them is losing their mind over something, a trend, a controversy, a moral panic, introverts step back and ask, does this actually make sense? They don't need constant social validation to feel secure in their opinions. They're comfortable disagreeing internally, even if they don't say it out loud. And history has proven this again and again. The crowd is loud, the crowd is confident, and the crowd is often wrong. Introverts don't need the crowd to think for them. Introverts are natural skeptics, not cynical but analytical. They don't immediately buy narratives. They don't swallow slogans. They don't trust surface level explanations. They ask what's being left out, who benefits from this, what's the motive here. This makes them slower to decide but far more accurate when they do. They're not chasing certainty, they're chasing understanding. Introverts are deeply aware of their internal world. They notice subtle emotional shifts. They can tell when something feels wrong even if they can't articulate it yet. They sense tension, discomfort, and dishonesty. That emotional literacy helps them read others better too. They pick up on things people say without words. Accuracy isn't just logical, it's emotional. And introverts are fluent in both. The problem is introverts don't advertise their insights. They don't interrupt meetings. They don't dominate conversations. They don't sell half-baked ideas with confidence. So people assume they're passive. Meanwhile, the introvert has already mapped the situation, spotted the flaw, and predicted the outcome. They're just waiting to see if it's worth speaking up. By the time everyone else realizes what went wrong, the introvert is thinking, yeah, I saw that coming. Here's the harsh truth. Seeing the world accurately doesn't make you popular. It makes you cautious. It makes you selective. It makes you less impressed. Introverts aren't dazzled easily. They aren't hypnotized by confidence or charisma alone. They care about consistency, depth, and truth. and that makes them harder to fool. Introverts don't see the world louder, they see it slower, deeper, clearer. They trade noise for nuance, reactions for reflection, confidence for correctness. In a world addicted to instant opinions and constant talking, introverts quietly sit back and actually understand what's going on. And maybe that's why when everything finally falls apart, it's usually the quiet ones who already knew it would.